Has your macOS been updated to Sonoma 14.4 recently? If so, have you noticed any bugs or glitches? Since Apple rolled out this update earlier this month, reports have been pouring in about a diverse range of bugs. We're not just talking about one or two minor hiccups here, but a list as long as your arm. From printers playing hide-and-seek to the iLock License Manager DRM standing guard like an overzealous security guard, the macOS Sonoma 14.4 seems to be having a bit of a moment. And not the good kind. Let's break it down, shall we? First on the list are printers, particularly those of the HP variety that are accessed over networks. They've been mysteriously disappearing like socks in a washing machine, thanks to missing printer drivers. Then we've got the connectivity issues with USB hubs and monitor ports. If you're a fan of Java, you might have noticed some processes terminating unexpectedly. Not cool, right? Now, if you're part of the niche audience that uses audio plugins protected by iLock DRM, you've probably been pulling your hair out with the DRM failures. These glitches are blocking access to your protected software. And let's not forget about the iCloud drive. Users who have optimized Mac storage enabled have reported that previous file versions are being erased. As if that wasn't enough, there are also miscellaneous reports of system crashes and instability. But before you hit the panic button, remember that we don't yet have a clear picture of how widespread these issues are. Some bugs seem to be causing more trouble than others. The printer issue, for instance, seems to be the main antagonist, according to comments in support forums and on social media. The downside to putting off upgrading because of these bugs is that this update patches a whopping 64 security issues. Yes, you heard that right, 64. And that includes at least 2 that Apple believes may have already been exploited by hackers. Plus, you'll be missing out on the fun new emojis like the mushroom, and who wants that? So, it seems like a bit of a conundrum, doesn't it? Let's dive deeper into these bugs and how they affect your Mac experience. First on our list is the issue of printers, especially HP printers, disappearing due to missing printer drivers. This issue, which has cropped up since the macOS Sonoma 14.4 update, is causing quite a bit of frustration. It seems that when you try to print, the system doesn't recognize your printer. It's as if it's vanished into thin air. And it's not just any printer. It's particularly affecting HP printers accessed over networks. Now, why is this happening? It seems to be a problem with the printer drivers. They are, in essence, the translators that allow your computer and your printer to understand each other. Somewhere in the update, these drivers have gone missing, and hence, the disappearing printers. So, what's the solution? Well, Apple hasn't released an official fix yet, but some users have found that reinstalling the printer drivers can help. It's not a perfect solution, but it might just get your printer back on the map. This bug is causing the most havoc among Mac owners who have updated. Moving on, we have connectivity issues with USB hubs and monitor ports, termination of Java processes, and iLock License Manager DRM failures. Let's start with the connectivity issues. Users have reported that since the macOS Sonoma 14.4 update, some USB hubs and monitor ports are not functioning as they should. This could be a major inconvenience, especially for those who rely on these connections for their day-to-day activities. While Apple is yet to release an official fix, some users have found success with resetting their System Management Controller, or SMC, which controls hardware functions on your Mac. However, this isn't a guaranteed fix, and users are eagerly waiting for an official solution from Apple. Next, we have the termination of Java processes. This issue is particularly significant for developers and programmers who use Java in their work. Since the update, Java processes have been unexpectedly quitting, causing potential loss of work and productivity. While some users have found a workaround by downgrading to an older version of Java, this is far from ideal and further highlights the need for an official fix from Apple. Lastly, we have the iLock License Manager DRM failures. This bug has been causing headaches for users of audio plugins protected by iLock technology. Essentially, the update is blocking access to protected software, rendering it useless. This is a major issue for audio professionals who rely on these plugins for their work. While this bug doesn't affect a large number of users, for those who it does affect, it's a significant problem. Currently, the best solution seems to be to wait for an update from iLock or Apple to address the issue. These issues are impacting users in varying degrees, but are still noteworthy. It's important for users to be aware of these bugs before deciding to update their system. While Apple is renowned for its user-friendly software and sleek design, like any tech giant, it's not immune to the occasional hiccup. Let's hope these issues are resolved soon. Remember, these issues are impacting users in varying degrees, but are still noteworthy. Next up, we have reports of iCloud Drive erasing previous file versions and miscellaneous reports of system crashes and instability. Imagine this scenario. You've been working on a document for hours, saving periodically to your iCloud Drive. Then, suddenly, you need to revert to an earlier version, only to find that it's vanished into thin air. Sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it? Unfortunately, some users have reported this very issue after updating to macOS Sonoma 14.4. This bug seems to affect users who have the optimized Mac storage feature enabled. The feature is designed to save space by storing your files in iCloud and keeping only recently opened files on your Mac. However, the bug causes iCloud Drive to erase previous versions of files, leaving users in a bind. Now, let's talk about system stability. Some users have reported crashes and general system instability after the update. This could manifest as random shutdowns, apps freezing, or the system running slower than usual. It's worth noting that these issues can be caused by a variety of factors, and it's not always easy to pin the blame on a particular update. However, the reports of instability have increased since the release of macOS Sonoma 14.4, suggesting a potential link. So, what can you do if you're facing these problems? For the iCloud Drive issue, one potential workaround is to disable the Optimize Mac Storage feature. This will ensure that all files are stored on your Mac, hopefully preventing previous versions from being erased. As for the system stability issues, some users have found success in performing a clean install of the macOS. However, remember to back up your data before doing so. In conclusion, while macOS Sonoma 14.4 brings with it a slew of new features and security patches, it's clear that it's not without its bugs. The iCloud Drive issue and system instability are just two more problems to add to the growing list of concerns. These bugs add to the growing list of issues with the macOS Sonoma 14.4 update. Despite these bugs, there are benefits to the macOS Sonoma 14.4 update, including a long list of security patches and new emojis. The update addresses a significant number of security issues, 64 to be precise. These patches cover a variety of vulnerabilities, some of which Apple believes have already been exploited by malicious entities. That's a substantial reason to consider updating, despite the potential for encountering bugs. In addition to these security patches, macOS Sonoma 14.4 brings with it a fun little perk: new emojis. The update introduces a range of new options for your digital expressions, including a much-anticipated mushroom emoji. It might seem like a small thing, but for the emoji enthusiasts among us, it's an exciting addition. So we see a balance here. On one side, we have these reported bugs causing some chaos. On the other, we have important security patches and new ways to express ourselves. So is it worth upgrading to macOS Sonoma 14.4 despite these issues? In conclusion, the macOS Sonoma 14.4 update brings a mix of new features and bugs. It's a case of taking the good with the bad. On one hand, the update comes with 64 security patches and even some fun new emojis like the mushroom emoji. On the other hand, it's also brought along a host of bugs, from disappearing printers and hubs to iCloud Drive trashing saved versions of files. It's worth noting that the extent of these issues is still unclear, with the printer problem seeming to cause the most disruption. And while the update may bring some headaches, it's also patching potential security threats. So it's a bit of a balancing act. Is macOS Sonoma 14.4 causing you any trouble? Or has it been smooth sailing for you? Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Mac-related content. Thanks for watching.